Hello, everybody. MechlordGames today. I can't even do my own intro right. Anyway, I'm here today with a deck profile for you guys. Been working on this deck for a little while. A lot of people would say, yeah, probably not that good, but maybe because it doesn't suit your style, or maybe just because you like playing all-around meta decks. And you know what? That's fine. Whatever. To each his own. But this deck is a familiar deck. Uh, Familiars were a set that goes with the Charmer set, and this is basically their full versions of the cards, and they are all level 4 spellcaster monsters, and each of them has a different effect. But we don't really use their effects; they're just more of a monster, so to speak. So you've got 3 familiar possessed dark, 3 familiar possessed Iria. Now those are the only of the familiar cards that we run in here. But we have 3 Inari Fire, 3 Gigabyte, and 3 Nefarious Archfiend Eater of Nefariousness. Very dumb, derpy name, I know. It's horrifying, it's terrifying, it's dreadful. But they all special summon themselves if you control a spellcaster type monster. And you can only control one of them at a time. So that is a slight drawback, but not too big of a drawback, really worth concerning yourself about. Now the other monster here we have is Mila the Temporal Magician. She is really good because when it's normal summon, target one set card your opponent controls, that is its cost, and you look at it. Your opponent cannot activate spell trap cards in response to this effect's activation. So basically the only thing you actually can do is Solemn Warning it. Because its effect happens on summon, so you can't respond to the summon, nor can you respond to the effect. Well, you might still be able to bottomless and torrential. I actually have not asked an administrator yet about that, but so far I have not encountered any problems. Nobody's seemed to try to bottomless her or torrential her, so I don't know why you wouldn't try to get rid of her, but she's also a spellcaster, so it provides synergy with the rest of your monsters. We only run 1 Dark Hole for right now, but probably jump it up to 2 for the next format. We have 3 MSTs, 1 Regeki, and 3 Supply Squad, 1 Bottomless Trap Hole, 2 Breakthrough Skill, 1 Compulse, 3 Deprison, because I feel like Banishment right now is more important than just destroying the monsters, because a lot of things really work out of the grave. So if you can use Dimensional Prison, you can kind of get over a lot of things that would go off at the grave. But on the downside, Dimensional Prison targets, and that's the only really negative side to Dimensional Prison, is that it targets. No, that's really the only negative thing I could think about Dimensional Prison. 3 Familiars Unleashed, which is actually really good because familiar monsters gain 800 attack during damage calc, so that is really good. And if a monster you control be disturbed by battle or by card effect, you can special summon from your deck a spellcaster type monster with 1500 defense that's a different attribute than the destroyed monster. So our targets would be dark and water, and these both have 1500 defense. Mela only has 1000, so she's not a summonable target, but you want to normal summon her anyway to be able to get her effect off. So Familiars Unleashed is just a great way to get into a familiar possessed monster and go positive. So that is a really good thing. Familiars Unleashed works very similar. Whoa, sorry, that was an accident. But Familiars Unleashed works very similar to a Yangtze creation. When any monster you control is destroyed, you can special summon blah 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 blah. So Familiars Unleashed is very similar to such a card. What? Okay, this is apparently something I have to deal with. Solemn Warning, 2 Time Space Trap Hole, and Torrential. Now, I've had countless people that I've dueled against say that Time Space Trap Hole is a bad card. It's not really a bad card. Your opponent does derpy shit, Time Space Trap Hole, shuffle it all into the deck. and then you lose 1,000 life points for each monster returned. It can be bad, but imagine this. You're playing against Cleafort. They pendulum summon 3 monsters, time space trap hole, bounce them all back into the deck. Sure, you take 3,000 damage, but you've pretty much stopped everything they're going to do. No towers for them, goodbye. And time space trap hole does not target, and it can be triggered anytime your opponent special summons a monster, except for, like, obviously during damage step with Gores and other cases such as Trigodian, etc. But other than that, time space trap hole, very good card, and I feel like that this card is honestly a great addition because you can bounce back anything that's special summoned from the hand or deck. Extra deck. But aside from that, there's not really much that time space trap hole won't get rid of. Like I said, it doesn't target and it bounces, so it's an amazingly wonderful card. And just our standard torrential. Extra deck. We could easily format this deck for TCG, but unfortunately we can't, though, due to Gigabyte and Tremendous Unleashed being OCG. So we decided to go with an OCG build for the deck. Bahamut Shark, Castel, Dagus to Emerald, Dark Rebellion, Xyz Dragon, Evil Storm Exodonite, 2 full armored Black Ray Lancers, 2 King of Feral Imps, 101, 2 Leviathan Dragon to make our full armored Black Ray Lancer, Diamond Crab King, Rhapsody and Berserk, and a Heartland Draco. There's not really many things that I could actually suggest that you could use in here. I don't really think that there's anything. Well, you can't really special summon any of the spellcasters all at one time. You could run Soul Charge in the main deck, which would be a good option as well. If you want to make things like, what is it? Downward Magician, I think? You can make Downward Magician or special summon it over a rank 3 lower Xyz monster. But you know it could be good because it is a spellcaster, and you'd be able to special summon these guys out of your hand, which is always a good thing. You could go plus that way if you really want to. And it gains attack and inflicts piercing battle damage, but I would rather have the Black Ray Lancer due to the fact that it still gains attack for each material attached to it, but if it will be destroyed, you can detach it and save it, and when you destroy a monster by battle, target a spell trap card they control and destroy it. So that is an amazing effect, and when you summon it, it will be 2300 attack. So that's my reasoning for using that. Diamond Crab King just becomes a 3000 attack beat stick. You attack with it, goes to defense. Yeah, easy target for Black Ship of Corn to send to the graveyard, but aside from that, I can't really think of too many negative things about Diamond Crab King. It's just a generic rank 4. You can only control one of them, but I really just personally feel like that this card is just really good and it's really overlooked. And I know a lot of OCG players probably love this card and have love all over it, and that's a good thing. It's nice to see people enjoying cards, but I don't know. A lot of people have their own different opinions and ideals. The reason I don't run Soul Charge in this is just because I rarely have to, and the deck has massive draw power, massive summon power, because like Gigabyte, if it's set and destroyed, special summon either NRA Fire or Nefarious Archfiend Eater of Nefariousness. And Nefarious Archfiend Eater of Nefariousness is a beast type, and if you have Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon, you can ditch them both to the graveyard for a Beast Eyes Pendulum Dragon if you want to run it as a Beast Eyes deck. You very well could do that. I might actually try that one these days. What in here would I don't really use. Well, this card is good against meta. What is the least likely card I'll summon? Probably this, honestly. I don't know. I'll leave it as is for now. But anyways, this deck is pretty good, pretty consistent, pretty powerful. It will take you some time to learn how to play this deck, but it is very good, very powerful, and in my opinion, probably one of the best decks for OCG right now. I mean, aside from Necros and Spirit Beast, I feel like this deck for OCG has a lot of ways it can be built, and I want to see people's ideas for a familiar spellcaster deck like this. I want to see your ideas. I want to see your intuition come into play on this. So if you guys would like to leave me some comments in the comment section down below, feel free to do so. Anyways, this is MechlordGames signing out.